Hi fam, this week we talk about how our parents' divorce impacted our lives. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. We really look forward to it. Do enjoy.
Hi guys!
Hi.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. This hat is a bit weird. My name is Dinyuko Mokale.
I am Tokoloho Mokale.
And this is
Journey with the Mokales.
I actually like the fact that you say it with me now. Well done. We're going to talk about something that actually was sparked from our previous video. During the previous video, I found out that my husband actually didn't want to get married. Right? So, and I thought to actually go into it and sort of unpack why didn't he want to get married? Because I grew up in a home where I saw marriage from my dad and my mom. It wasn't always a great picture. It wasn't always picture perfect. But I was still encouraged that I do want such an environment, also for my children or whatever the case is. And I think it was different for my husband, because when we went into the reason why he didn't want to get married, it actually went back into his parents' divorce, And I think it's important that we do talk about it. We talk about not necessarily the reason why I didn't want to get married, but we talk about just the impact of our parents' divorce on our lives, our relationships, the choice of people that we hang around, and the likes. So I want us to start there.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yes.
It's another hard one. I hope.
Yeah.
I promise that next week will be easier.
Light.
Will be light. So I think we have to start off with talking to you and talking about summary experience of your parents' divorce.
Okay. So my parents divorced when I was around 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a teen at the time. Great grades at school, very good grades from primary.
Yeah.
And I was in high school, very early on in high school. So the first most notable one is that I failed that year. I failed grade 10.
When your parents divorced?
Yeah, around that time. And I think that's the year they divorced, or the year after. And that's the first impact. And then I became disinterested in school, and one of the reasons was that for the longest time since primary, my dad was the one checking my schoolwork. So for a long time I was doing well at school because my dad was a big part of it, and we would sit down. I would get 98% in maths, and
Way to brag.
and and we would actually have to discuss the 2% that's missing. So he constantly pushed me to be better. So I lost that during the divorce, because I'm in between. I'm a kid. My sister is much younger. I'm the one seeing it more, So yeah, it impacted me quite negatively in so many ways. Yeah.
Sure. That's quite hectic.
Yeah.
But I think we need to maybe then fast forward.
Yeah.
To when we started dating.
Yeah.
When we started dating, I knew that your parents are divorced.
Yes.
Your dad udula somewhere in another house, and the house I got to know the family I fell in love with. In another house, another place, a warm family, mom, cousins, brothers, sisters, all of it, right? But in the experience that you went through,
yes,
were you angry at your parents, at how that impact was carried through in your life?
Sure.
Did you blame them for how your life turned out? because I feel like a lot of us, there's a lot of young married couples.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work out, right?
Yes.
And there's a huge impact on the kids. As much as
Humongous.
I think as much as maybe we are better at communicating than our parents in terms of telling our children that mommy and daddy are going to live separately, we are not okay, whatever the case is. I don't think our parents did it as well as maybe we do now, because communication is really top of mind or whatever the case is. Because I will just trace back with my mom and dad, whenever they would fight, whatever the case is, we knew, okay, we're gonna go to my grandmother's house so that we can still go to school, whatever the case is. And then once dad and mom are fine, we'll all then go back home.
Yeah.
Right? And there was, I don't remember my mom or my dad sitting with us down to say, actually my mom did, but I guess she was venting.
I want to talk about that.
She was venting and to say, no, your dad is not
did 1, 2, 3,
did 1, 2, 3 and whatever. But both of them never set us down to tell us, okay, no, or whatever the case is, and then 1, 2, 3, they are happy and we are fine.
And at no point did your dad say anything about it?
No.
Yeah.
Even today.
Yes.
Even after my mom passed away.
So I want to talk about that.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying that that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
For you to sort of bring out the lack in communication.
Yeah.
And the impact thereof in terms of,
was I angry?
Were you angry, or are you still angry at your parents right now, or have you forgiven? Yeah, maybe go into that.
So forgive me if I might be long.
Yeah.
So the thing about divorce.
Yeah.
Is that in most cases, and in our case, my dad moved out of the house. Okay, so we were left with my mom. So for the longest time, I'm hearing the divorce
from your mom,
from my mom's perspective, from a woman who is scorned. Okay, and yes, I became very angry towards my dad
because of what your mom went through,
yes,
not necessarily what your mom said.
Both.
Okay.
Both what she was saying about my dad.
Yeah.
And what I saw her going through. Right? So I didn't talk to my dad for almost a year. You know, but I would engage him because I needed this and that.
For school and stuff.
Yes, but that's as far as it went. So for that time, we didn't have a relationship. But my dad almost maintained a position of I know your mom is probably saying things about me, but I'm not going to try and protect myself. But for a period of time. But at some point, when we started talking again, I think I was in grade 11, grade 12, when I made a decision to start having a relationship with him, he would also go on about how my mom is bad. You know what I'm saying? So for a long time, I was in the middle of hearing my mom saying this about my dad and hearing my dad saying this about my mom. So that just doesn't do any good for a person in that age. You know? And so that hence the fear of getting married. You know, I didn't see for some time. I didn't have a good picture of marriage. I just saw these two giants clashing. Right? So yes, that's I for a moment I was very angry. Never was I angry at my mom. You know?
You're more angry with your dad.
Yeah, but the more I engaged both of them, I was fortunate enough to begin to remove myself from the divorce itself. You know? I began to sort of say, hey, actually, in all of these conversations that I'm hearing, I am not part of the problem.
You know, when you
because it's easy for when you're a kid, you know, you think this is about you, and that's one of the reasons that hurts you most.
Can you just maybe just give me something? I just want to interject there.
Yeah.
Where you you often tell me when we will have our conversation, especially about when the divorce happened. At your age,
yes,
about 16, 17, he told me that there was a point, you know, when your, I guess your parents are angry or whatever the case is. His mom wanted to change their surnames from your dad's surname into mom's maiden surname.
Yeah, this is after the divorce.
Right. Yes,
maiden name.
Maiden name.
Yeah.
And at your age, you refused to change your surname.
Yeah.
And you could have easily been Motebe.
Yeah.
And you chose to remain Mokale.
Yes.
Tell me about that. At your age.
I'm a daddy's boy.
Okay.
And my best memories of my childhood are the very few moments the weekends we would have with my dad. And the weekdays when he came back from work, just getting off the taxi and me running to him and taking his briefcase. I can vividly remember those, you know, and how he'd make me read a newspaper when I was
every
like
Sunday.
6 or 8. I don't know. You know, I still remember those. So I think I loved my dad so much. Even in my anger, I still didn't want to be disconnected from him.
That was probably one of the last things that you had.
Yes.
That you felt sacred.
Yes, that I'm still called by his name. You know? And also, I was at a point where I understood that my mom was angry, and whatever she was doing then was because she's angry. So, and I was at a point where I had removed myself from the divorce, and it was just about them. So, so I understood that she was probably trying to use that as a tool as well to further hurt the other party. So yeah, that's why.
Yeah, and really, guys, what we are talking about, we're talking about divorce from a child's perspective.
Yeah.
We've never gone through divorce. We pray over not ever going through a divorce as a married couple. And I guess there's a lot of it happening in our age group in terms of divorce, and there's various reasons why things don't work out.
Sure.
You know, but at the age that we are, there's also that realization that our parents' divorce or failed learnings that our parents had a huge impact in, really impact our lives, our livelihood today.
Sure.
Whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
When you sit down with your therapist or psychologist or whatever the case is, when you unpack your journey as a child, or you get the wisdom from God to unpack what you are going through, whether it be depression, whether it be whatever the case is, some of it is attributed to the things that happened as a child, which our parents had a lot to do with.
Yeah. True.
Right? So having this conversation was based on you saying, okay, I don't want to get married, or I didn't want to get married. I didn't see the need to get married, you know, or to find companionship, or to be with somebody, you know. And somewhere, that you or I changed your mind, you know, that because I mean, imagine if we were dating and you carried on with the whole thing, I don't want to get married, and here you are dating a girl that has always imagined herself in a white dress. You know? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's... So why are we doing this already? I'm like, so why are we doing this?
Yeah.
You know? Because I want to be with you for the rest of my life, and I believe that is formed underneath a marriage covenant for me. Yeah. You know?
I think it's powerful what you just said, and the important thing is that one should take when you come from a divorce situation is that you coming from a divorced family doesn't take anything away from you.
Doesn't change your story.
Instead, by coming from that kind of background, gives you an opportunity to say, I want to do this. I want to do it, and I want to do it better. I know or understand the impact it has on the children. So I need to actively try and protect them from suffering the same fate. You know, by doing better, by communicating better. You know, I now at my age, when I look at my mom and dad, I see that, you know what, it probably wouldn't have worked because I know my dad now and I know my mom. You know, but
and you're married and
I'm married and I see
only because you get it now.
Yes,
you are in their shoes to say,
yes.
actually.
So I don't judge my dad for whatever. I don't judge my mom, but I understand. You know, I understand, and that's why I really look at people going through divorce and I say, sheesh, I understand, and it's not nice.
It's not a nice thing.
But I understand. But I think I feel more pain when I look at the kids, because I've gone through the pain, and I know that divorcing parents can be very selfish. You know, divorcing parents can be very during that part. A large part of it is not about the kids. You know,
difficult.
But they suffer a lot.
It's difficult because guys, it's difficult. You can't say. I hear what you're saying, ne? But it kills me when you say the divorcing parents are selfish. I guess you're saying it from a child's perspective.
Yes.
Because you don't know what your mom went through. You don't know what your dad went through.
I'm saying it from a child whose mom is saying, you will. I'm going to prevent you from seeing your dad. You know, and the dad saying, I'm not going to give that woman money. Whereas that money, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying it from the perspective of a child who's gone through divorce, who's sitting there saying, but I miss my dad. You know, my dad used to take me to soccer, but my mom is saying, no, I can't see him. You know, because she's hurt by this guy. But I'm here suffering as a child. You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying
it's so difficult.
Yeah, divorce is very complicated.
It's so difficult.
Yeah.
Sure. It's difficult. Okay, I think last question.
Okay.
Because before we get emotional, because I'm getting emotional. It's not nice. I don't like it. I think the last question that I have for you is, in terms of divorce.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not last question, but I think something that you can just maybe encourage those that went through a divorce, right?
Yeah.
In terms of like their parents.
Yeah, sure.
Not the people that, because we're not.
I'm not qualified for
we're
that
not
one.
qualified for that one. It's a very difficult. I mean, like just thinking about it, I'm just getting emotional because I'm not fit for that as yet.
Yeah.
What is your advice to a person that were in your shoes?
Yeah.
At age 15.
Yes.
Or is in your shoes right now at age 30, even if they're out of the house and their parents are divorcing or have divorced. You know, I want you to speak from that guy, that 16-year-old that remembered that actually I'm going to keep my dad's surname and avoid her. By the time I get married, there needs to be this to happen. What.
I think,
I'm reaching for that wisdom.
Yeah, I want
to speak to that person that's gone through it and that doesn't have faith in a relationship, let alone a marriage. A relationship. I'm not even going to do this thing because really, honestly, it's going to end up in a divorce.
Yeah. I'm going to speak to that 16-year-old dude. You know?
And lady.
And lady. They are your parents. You have a life of your own to shape. Don't let what you're going through change the trajectory of your life. I made a mistake of slacking at school. Don't do it. I got into bad habits of clothes and whatever. Don't do that. Remain the gem that you are, for you.
Fight for you.
Fight for you, because your parents, they're living their lives. They've lived their lives, and they will pass, and you will be left in this life. That's the bit that I can say a lot, but really, it's you. At the end of the day, when all is said and done, remove yourself from these two divorcing people and look at yourself and decide what you want for your life. Because the decisions you make, whether they are independent of or dependent of your situation with your parents, you are the one who's going to live out that life. You're the ultimate person who will suffer if you don't do right by yourself. So, to the 34-year-old guy whose parents divorced and they are carrying hate towards the father, preventing them, whatever. Girl, you need to grow up. Because whatever mistakes your dad did, you are not special. You might just do the same.
Sure.
And living your life trying to outdo your dad's mistakes or trying to do better than your dad might just throw you into the same trap. You need to forgive, and you need to forgive them because you'll be doing it for yourself, and you need to start trying to do good, not better than your parents, but do good in the situation that you are in, because there's a lot of things that lead to divorce. Most of the things we don't understand because we haven't gone through them, but you have an opportunity to do good now. Do that. Don't. I think the problem with our generation is that my dad was an absent father, so I'm gonna try and be and do better than my dad did. I don't think that's the right attitude, because you are still basing your life on somebody's mistake,
on somebody's
failure, and that's not how we should form a foundation for our lives. It's to try and be a good father, and try and be a good husband.
And if I think I'm gonna just take it from there. Like, if you don't have a good example of that, guys, we have Jesus Christ.
Yep.
We have God. We have the Word of God, guys. We have the Word of God to pull us through, to build a new foundation.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna get emotional.
Don't.
I think we're gonna stop it there today. Today is a lot. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you
for being here every week, for being patient with us,
for the great comments.
Sure.
And sharing.
We promise we'll come with the light one, because today is a lot for me. Yeah.
We must have these conversations.
Yeah, we should. We
can only
should.
Get better if we have these conversations, because always the plastic life comes and goes, but this is life.
Yeah, and we can say bye.
Hola.
Bye, guys.